Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tessie and today we'll be making this lovely dress on the screen. If you're yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly do that. And if you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome once more. So I'll be making use of 3 yards of silk duchess. This fabric is called the silk duchess, and what I did was to cut 1.5 yard each. So I'm going to be using 1.5 yard for the front and 1.5 yard for the back. So we'll go ahead now to cut out the back pattern first. So what I'll do is fold my fabric into two. So we are cutting for the back. So I folded my fabric into two, as you can see. So I've gone ahead now to chalk my starting point, which is my shoulder line. So I'll be taking my shoulder measurement divided by 2. The shoulder I'm working with divided by 2 will give me 9. So from that point, you chalk how long you want your sleeve to be. For me, I'm just going to use the full length of the fabric, which is 22 inches for my sleeve. So what I'll do next is take my neck measurement. So I'll be using 3.5 by 1.5. So I'm using 3 by 1.5. Then I'm just going to curve in my neckline, as you can see. So what I'll do next is I'll come down by 2 inches for my shoulder slope. I'm just going to place my tape and chalk 2 inches. And from that point, I'm just going to connect it all the way down to the shoulder line. After doing that, I'll be coming down by 10 inches. If your armhole is 9, you can use 10. If it's 8, you can use 9. So I came down by 10 inches, and on that point, I'll be coming in by 2 inches just to give that part a curve, so you know where your sleeve stops. So I came in by 2 inches and I just curved it in this way, as you can see. After doing that, I'll take from the shoulder to the knee. So from my shoulder to my knee is 37 inches thereabout. Then I went ahead to connect it into a straight line. So from this sleeve area, you can either just go straight down, or you can give it a cow effect. It depends on how you want it to look. So for me, I'm just going to give it a cow effect. As you can see, I had to like curve it a bit, but if you don't want it to have that cow effect, you can just go straight down. So for the down part of the back, I'm just going to shift my fabric up so you guys can see, and on that knee line, I'm just going to go straight down. After doing that, I'll go ahead now to cut out my fabric. Please, if you've watched the video to this point and you're yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly do that and let's get right into the video. So on that shoulder area, I left 1/2 inch for joining allowance. We are done with the back part. We'll go ahead now to cut out the front. For the front, I folded my fabric into two and I placed my back on the front. So go ahead, place your back on the front equally. Then I'm going to be cutting out the neck area. You can see I've not cut out the neck. I'm just cutting out the shoulder area, and then I'll cut the down part of the dress. So for the neckline for the front, I'll be using 3.5. Then I'll be coming down by 7 inches. It is a V neckline. So I came down by 7 inches and I'm just going to connect my lines together. So this is what we have. You can come down by 8 depending on how deep you want it to be. So what I did next was to cut out my fabric. So the next thing to do is to work on the down part. So for the down part, what you need to do is just curve all the way to the end of the dress. But what I'll do is take my measurement. So it's depending on how deep you want it to be. From the shoulder, I came down by 40 inches because the person I'm sewing this for doesn't want it deep at all. So from that 40 inches, I'm just going to curve and blend it to the end of the dress. So I'm just trying to blend my fabric, as you can see. So in case you want yours deep, just go up and then you curve all the way down to this point. So but for me, I am not making mine deep. Mine is just going to stop at this point. As you can see, just trying to reblend it so that you guys can see how the curve went. So for the high and low, mine will not be very visible because you can see the distance is not deep. So the effect will not pop out. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So in case you want the effect to pop out, go up the more and then you curve it in. I keep emphasizing on that point. So what I'll do next is to cut out my fabric. After cutting out my fabric, we are done with the cutting part. As you can see, the back is not going to be having the high and low. The high and low is just in the front alone. Hope you understand. So when you open it up, you're going to have something like this. You can see that mine is not deep, so it's not going to be coming out, but yours should be deeper than this. So what I'll be doing next is I'll be using a bias to turn the neckline. So you can either use a bias or you can cut out a facing. I prefer using a facing, but the fabric was not enough. So I'll use a bias to turn the neckline for the front, and I'll also use the same bias to turn the neckline for the back. So I'm just going to place my bias and stitch. So after stitching, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So what I'll do next is just place my front and my back together. So after placing the front and the back, I'm going to be stitching by 1/2 inch on the shoulder area. Then I went ahead to fold the sleeve part, as you can see. Then I'm going to stitch 1 inch all the way down. I'll do the same thing for this part as well. Stitch 1 inch all the way down. So guys, after stitching, this is what I have, as you can see. So for the down part, you can see that the front is not that deep. The difference between the front and the back is not much at all. Yours should be deeper. That's when you see the beauty. I hope you understand. So I'm just going to use my bias to tone the down part and show you guys the end result. So guys, this is what it looks like. As you can see, please, this is not my size. I just wore it so that you guys will see what it looks like. Hope this tutorial was helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys.